Okay, so I've got this really cool pattern that I'm going to show you here in just a moment. But first, a little credit where credit's due. I picked up this pattern from a Joel Frahm solo on the Charlie Parker tune, Anthropology, Rhythm Changes, Contrafact. And there's a transcription of this solo on YouTube. You can follow it right along. It's transcription by Wesley Chin. So I definitely suggest checking that out. And this pattern, now, you might hear the unique interval combination. It's not, well, not unique, but the interval combination of a minor third and a perfect fourth. So there I've got the minor third, the perfect fourth, and then the perfect fourth descending. But it's actually based on triad. It's like the key I'm playing it in right there. I started with the key of B flat major, and I played 3, 5, 8, 5 on the B flat, using tones from the B flat major arpeggio. Now, the way I played it a moment ago and the way Joel Frahm plays it in his solo is he takes it through a series of fourths. But this is a great pattern that you can take all the way around the circle of fourths. 3, 5, 8, 5. B flat major. I'm going to play D, F, B flat, F, and you can follow along as written. So up a whole step from that F, from the 5 of this chord, takes me to the third of the next chord in the circle of fourths. So I'll move on to the key of E flat. 3, 5, 8, 5. Now I'm moving up a whole step from that B flat to 3 of A flat, and the pattern just continues around like that. Now you can think of the interval combination, the 3, 5, 8, 5, and I like the shape that provides. It's a wonderful shape. Or you can think of the key. 3, 5, 8, 5 in the key. So we've got the minor third, the perfect fourth descending, but we've also got 3, 5, 8, 5 within a specific key. So what I would really like for you to do as you practice this pattern is learn it to the point that while you're playing one increment of the pattern, one key, you're thinking forward to the next key so that you know where you're going. So as I'm playing B flat, I'm thinking forward to E flat, to A flat. I'm trying to think there before I get there. I just can't talk and play at the same time. Now as I play the key of D flat next, I'll think forward to the key of G flat. I'm going to octave displace at the beginning of the pattern. Now, sometimes in patterns I'll have you octave displace in the middle of the pattern. But if we octave displace in the middle of the pattern, we end up with, and we lose the shape. We lose that minor third perfect fourth shape. So I like to octave displace this one to stay within a playing range on the horn, so that we're not running way up high. Otherwise, we're going to get way up into the altissimo really quickly. So I'm up to the key of G flat, and as I'm playing G flat, I'm going to think forward to B. And there I am back home. So listen to it through all 12 keys. I actually played 13 keys because I played the first key twice. So I played it when I got back around. So now that's a great way to practice this particular pattern. But there are other ways to practice this pattern. So I'm going to take the same starting key. Now typically when I do what I'm about to show you, I would go the full range of the instrument. But right now, for time's sake, and you don't want to listen to me play up and down the full range of the instrument, I'm going to start in B flat. Once again, we're just going to use that as our starting point for now. I'm going to start on the low D, and I'm going to move chromatically up. So I'm going to play the pattern in B flat, in B, in C, in D flat, in D, on up one full octave, and then I'm going to descend playing the same pattern in reverse sequence. So once I get to the second octave B flat, key of B flat, I'll play B flat, then I'll play the key of A, then I'll play the key of A flat. So the same pattern, the 3, 5, 8, 5, and it's also the same interval combination, minor third, perfect fourth. You may have noticed a couple of times I left a note out to breathe. I would rather do that than pause the pattern to breathe, and especially if I'm practicing with a metronome, which I would probably do. I love to practice all these patterns with metronomes. I just don't want you to have to listen to the metronome banging away right now. So I do it chromatically, up and down, then maybe in whole steps. So I might do the key of B flat, followed by the key of C, followed by the key of D, E, G flat, A flat, B flat, and then descend in whole steps. The same, just reverse order. B flat, A flat, G flat, E, D, C, and back to B flat. Now, of course, if you play it on that series of tones, the B flat, the C, the D, the E, the F sharp, the A flat, that's only half of the chords. So then you have to shift the whole pattern up a half step and do it in whole steps again. So the key of B, D flat, E flat, F, G, A, and B, and then in reverse order. And there are other sequences that you can do this pattern in as well. Major thirds would be a good sequence, but it doesn't feel quite as good to me. This one doesn't feel quite as good in major thirds as maybe some other patterns would. But and I'm not going to take you through that because I think right now you're going to have plenty to practice. You've got this pattern moving in the circle of fourths, you've got it moving in chromatically, and you've also got it moving in whole steps. And if you think about it, when you do it in whole steps, you're moving it around the whole tone scale through different keys. And there are a number of ways to use this pattern. You can see how Joel Frahm used it in rhythm changes. He didn't necessarily play it on specific chords, but he used the structure of the pattern moving forward, and it has just such a great sound there. But you can use, when you do this, if you're into triad pairs, when you're doing this in whole steps, you get these whole step triad pairs. Topic for a different day, but right now just know that this is a killer pattern to practice on for those kind of reasons. Also, the other cool thing about it is, especially if you're thinking these chords as you're moving along, you're really kind of getting out of root position, and that's one of the things I'll have folks work out a lot of times is learning their chords out of root position. You're learning these chords based on first inversion, based on the third, and but either way, it's just such a cool sounding pattern. And again, the intervallic combination of the minor third and the perfect fourth gives it a really cool modern sort of sound. This is almost a Brecker sound at times. So have fun with this pattern, and I'll see what else I can come up with for you. Oh, and by the way, I'm Randy Hunter. I hope you'll subscribe to my YouTube channel here, and also visit my website, beginningsax.com, to learn more about my jazz improv and beginning sax lesson series. I've got tons of lessons available there, and also randyhunterjazz.vhx.tv, my subscription site where you can subscribe monthly for full access to my complete lesson series.